So good morning, everybody. I would
Yeah.
like to welcome you all to the 𝐂𝐢𝐫𝐜𝐻, which is Accelerating Innovation and Ideas Manufacturing 2024. The session has been conducted by SolutionBuggy, and the session today for textile and its potential of the energy sector. So we would like to, where we look at the industry. So where we look at the industry overview, the current market trends, the textile and its potential, and what we are contributing towards the factor of the government for a faster adoption of textile policy. Also, a lot of entrepreneurs are very interested in entering the segment, but are wary of how to do it. So before I start the session, I'll quickly give a quick introduction of SolutionBuggy. So we are basically an online platform to connect the manufacturing industries to the experts. And I can proudly say that we are India's largest platform for the manufacturing sector. And we have around 12,000 experts on the platform. And we have completed around 3,500 projects all across India over the last 6 years. When I say projects, it could be from anything, from one-day consulting of an assignment in the lean management or the training programs, all the way to setting up the industries from concept of commercialization stage, including all the basic market research, product identification, detailed project report, machinery procurement, plant setup, commissioning, supply chain management, sales and marketing development. And to give a quick intro about myself, so I'm currently working at SolutionBuggy as a project manager PD and have a diverse experience in various domains throughout my career. I have 3+ experience in functional growth consulting for all the MSME firms in India, along with operational leadership. Now, transitioning to the prime agenda of the webinar. So for the next 30 minutes, a set of stellar speakers are going to take over the stage and delve you deeper into the topic and shed some light on the textile sector. So first we have Mr. Pandurang Deshpande sir, so who has been a doyen in the textile industry for the last 40+ years. So he has, with over 40 years of experience in the textile, and has gained recognition of the ability to enhance the organizational bottom lines to the customer-centric and innovative approaches. Throughout his career, he has held various top management positions for more than 17 years, including the roles as a general manager, vice president in processing, vice president of manufacturing and operations, and as the director works of towel manufacturing facilities. He oversaw designing, weaving, processing, cut and sew, embroidery, research, strict adherence to SOPs all across the process lines. Additionally, he played a role as a supply chain member for markets in European Union, US, Japan, and Australia. He has successfully raised the performance of the process house machinery, staff, and works to meet the standard of defense authorities and pass the international buyers compliance audit. His expertise lies in wet processing, specializing in substrates such as polyester, cotton, viscose polyson, acrylic, and as well as various fabric dyes. He has served as a process consultant at Birla Century in Jhagadia, Bharuch, Gujarat, and contributed significantly to different project success. So I welcome you, sir, to the session.
Thank you.
Yeah. And the next we have another eminent person. His name is Engineer H. Satapathy, who has 20+ years of experience in the textile industry. And Satapathy sir is a textile and apparel technologist who has graduated from the Institution of Engineers with an MBA in Marketing and Finance. He has worked extensively in manufacturing apparel in different domains such as sourcing, operations, quality assurance, and product development. A thorough knowledge of various types of manufacturing processes of woven, knitting, hand woven, and home linen in its additional processes. His expertise covers a broad range of RMG categories, from sportswear to casual, formal to intimate apparel. He has been instrumental in setting up various new facilities in Tirupur, Chennai, Bhubaneswar. Passionate trainer, trained and experienced in lean manufacturing and quick troubleshooting, established a flawless manufacturing system and process skill development through a robust training and continuous upgradation of a effective SOP in place to optimize the product quality and sustainability. So, thank you, sir, for joining us. Right, sir. So before going ahead, I would hand over the mic to Mr. Pandurang Deshpande, sir. Sir, you can go ahead with the session while our team is going to present the PPT and help you with slide transition. Yes, sir. I hand over the mic to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I am starting on the subject of a brief introduction to textile manufacturing industry, as was guided to me on the points of what is the textile industry all about, what are the fundamentals of textile manufacturing, and what is there to be choosing a right technology, sourcing the raw material, and navigating regulatory compliance and industry standards. In addition to that, I was also asked later on to talk something about incentives and subsidies given by Ministry of Textile. So these are 5 points around which my talk will be built around. So welcome all. I'm opening my things on the textile industry brief lookout as a preamble. I would like to tell that the 2-3 points regarding textile industry in a preamble. The contribution of textile industry to the Indian economy. The textile sector is one of the critical sector of the Indian economy, accounting for more than 7% of the total GDP and more than 12% of the manufacturing sector gross domestic product. So this sector is also the second largest provider of the employment of India after agriculture. A great deal of work piece was designed by Indian trade industry, which has received heights and significance in the GDP norms, exports, generation of employment, and foreign exchange generation. The growth in textile commodities exports, the growth in the textile commodity exports rate in the last few years is around 10.06% CAGR, taking, that is compounded annual growth rate, taking exports from this $36 billion in 2017-18. It requires a growth CAGR of 22%. It is estimated, or it's a demand that CAGR should, if we go with the CAGR of 22%, we'll achieve $300 billion by next 2 years. There are other figures which are also quoted by Ministry of Textiles and those who are experts in the textile industry. But this is, I want to tell, these are the CAGR figures by the Ministry of Textiles latest. The second point is technological advancement. Like in every other industry, technology has played a major role in the development and advancement in the textile industry. From each stage, starting from yarn to textiles, the technological advancement have paved the way for cost cutting, less wastage of time, and increased productivity. That is what you are calling as a lean production. The potential of technological advancements such as automation, digitization, and advanced manufacturing techniques in the transforming Indian textile industry played a great role in economic development. And the third point is the domestic and global demand of textiles is ever increasing in this industry. The Ministry of Industry is making all attempts to support the sector owing to its ability to generate employment. So, friends, I hope I'm going as per the schedule. Okay, Indrajit?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Contribution to the textile industry. After completing this topic, I will go to fundamentals of textile manufacturing. Understanding the fundamentals of textile manufacturing can help you make better decisions when buying and selling of cotton fabric, wholesale online through exchange, or my other friend who is there in the April, he will also elaborate. I mean, it is expected that he will elaborate this again from his points. The second is the word. Now I'll come to textiles for those who already are knowing and already not knowing, both for them. The word textile derived from Latin and French literally means to weave. While it was originally used to define woven fabrics, as the revolution in the textile industry has forwarded, the term has been widely and encompassing all the all the components of textile industry, representing the staple or filament fiber, yarn, fabric, manufacturing of woven, knitted, tufted, and non-woven fabrics, and other products derived from above processes. So, friends, textiles is a very vast subject, and it's a very vast industry, and uh, it is very difficult to cover all the sector in the times given to us, because it is ever widening and widening. Now I come to the two basic classification of textile. Is first is aesthetic textiles, and the other is a non-aesthetic textiles. So the aesthetic textiles, those are what we use for wearing and daily usage, like suiting and shirting, saris, dress materials, towels, curtain, home textile, where design, color, fitness for personal use, and uh, overall general attire. These are the main attributes for the aesthetic textiles. The non-aesthetics, I will talk after completing the aesthetic textile. Non-aesthetics are having different different dimensions of fitness for use. The manufacturing process of textile processes, when it comes to the textile manufacturing process, the final product's property, characteristics, and activity differ from each other, even if they originate from the same raw material. It depends. From same cotton you can manufacture different kinds of yarn. From same yarn you can manufacture different kinds of woven fabrics. From same woven fabrics you can give different colors and aesthetics, attachment and finishing by chemical processing. So this makes the difference even if the raw material is same. Now, in general, Indrajit, are you forwarding the?
So you can tell the next slide, so I can my team will keep doing.
Yeah. So the manufacturing process of textile product, I have told you, even if the raw material is same, the final product is different because of the choice of different yarn and different processes. Now, cotton, mainly cotton, nylon, viscose, polyester, all these fibers we are going to deal with, but I'm coming first to the how the fiber is made to yarn, the yarn is made to fabric, and the fabric made to processed fabric. The various fibers are there, but the cotton is main king of all fibers. Polyester is there, cotton is there, viscose is there, acrylic is there, silk, wool, nylon, linen, all fibers are there. But cotton is so far as the king of all fibers. Cotton is obtained from cotton field, then it is passed through process called as ginning, where the hand-picked cotton is put in the machines, and where the seeds and other dirts are removed, and then they only fiber, and with slight less impurities, it can be packed in bales and it goes further to the mills. Other kinds of natural fibers which are there are linen, hemp, remi, jute. The animal fibers are wool and camel. They are obtained from sheep and camel. So these are the things. Next slide, please. There are fibers which are obtained by semi-synthetic or synthetic methods, where the pre-polymers are melted at the hopper. They are extruded through spinnerates, and you get the continuous yarn, or you can cut it and you can get it in a staple fiber. Say fibers like polyethylene terephthalate is polyester, the dimethyl terephthalate and terephthalic acid and glycolin, hexamethylene diamine and adipic acid for nylon. The material obtained through chemical processes. This is called as melt spinning. Whereas if you if you dissolve the wood fiber, wood pulp, you can make a regenerated viscose, bupropion, rayon, or cellulose acetate. These are all fabrics. These are all yarn made from synthetic or semi-synthetic method. So we have got natural fiber as well as synthetic and semi-synthetic fibers. When all these fibers are made available for a spinning mill, textile mill, they are collected from the ginning mill. Then the yarn is formed by changing the shape of fibers. Textile yarn is the basic property of element of textile product. It is continuous fiber strand formed by assembling fibers with a substantial length and cross section. So now, how the yarn is made by the free fibers. The yarns can be spun continuously or conventionally or non-conventional. The conventional technique involves the following operations: dangling, detangling and loosening the yarn fiber, carding, combing and drawing and drafting. Now let us see I'm talking mostly on the cotton because it will explain all other fibers processes also, depending on there will be slight technological or parameter change, but the basic thing is like this. Indrajit, am I moving the slide correctly?
Yes, sir. Everything is going.
So aesthetic textiles is formed by changing the shape of fiber. How the yarn is made now, we are going to learn this process. Cotton can be sourced from various ginning mills in the country. One can get cotton in grade as well as bleach form. It is then sent to spinning for making yarn via a root operation, passing through various machines like a blow room, carding, drawing, combing and drawing, and speed frames and ring frames. So the slide which is available here is you are seeing the blow room where all the yarn, which is all the fiber which are coming from ginning mills, are collected and arranged in a linear way, so that the blow room operation can be taken care of, and it is sent to blow room operation. What is blow room? Blow room is making all the fibers, and it is freeing the fiber still further, so that till any finer dirt is there is separated, and only cotton fibers are formed in the lap. These laps go further to the carding machine. Carding is where you are individually separating the fibers. Friends, are you seeing my slide on the carding? Trussler carding machine is the slide which I'm showing, where the laps which are being formed by the blow room are separated in a different fiber, and then there is a lap form, it's like a sheet. This sheet is further going to the combing machine, where it is passed through various rollers, whereby it is stretched and the small fibers are separated, and you get a roving. Roving is a conversion of cotton lap into a cylindrical form. That is a roving. This is a big from lap to sliver and sliver to roving. Roving is a pre-yarn stage. It is still, the draft is going higher and higher. The final draft which you find after making the yarn is 90 times from the start of thing. So if the separation between the length of 1 centimeter of a cotton sheet, you will find 90 centimeter of yarn. That is how it is. There are various drafts are given. All the fibers are separated and elongated, and the finer and finer form is taking place from sheet to sliver, sliver to roving, and roving to yarn. So this is a speed frame from sliver to roving. Further is, this is the return Lakshmi machine working slide is coming, where you are finding from roving to funnel yarn, where the final stage of yarn is found out. Then this yarn can be doubled, multiplied as a requirement. So we are now getting yarn. I think audience is with me, and they are getting it known that how the fibers are converted to sheets and sheets to sliver and sliver to roving and roving to yarn. Now, when you want to make a fabric is produced by different apparel. Fabric is produced for different apparel manufacturing. Fabric is produced by knitting, weaving, tufting, plaiting, braiding, or non-conventional weaving. Weaving is most widely used fabric process followed by knitting. Now in the weaving, what happens? You make the warp yarn beam that the fibers are arranged in a parallel stage and they are wound on the cylinder. This is a warping machine. There are direct warping machine. There are sectional warping machines also, where all the yarns which are arranged from various spindles to form a beam of yarns, and they are wound on the empty beams, which are called as warp beam. This further goes to loom. Loom is where you are inserting the weft yarn in that. Weft is a horizontal yarn, warp is vertical. So this is vertical section which is divided into two halves through which the weft yarn goes, and these frames which are saying going up and down, they are making the fabric woven. So from warp you get the final beam of woven fabric. So this can makes the movement of these frames. They are called as heels, and through reeds the all beams are separated. You get the fabric. So this is a loom. Toyota, Dornier, Sudocoma. These are the various kinds of loom available in the market. You get the final fabric like this. There is another process of making fabric is called as knitting. Knitting is where all the single yarns are being passed through a circular knitting machine and the loops are formed. Somehow I haven't got the video of how the loop, knitting is taking place, but this is how yarns are arranged, and these loops are taken by various kinds of needles. You get a woven knitted fabric like this. This is a Meyer and C knit fab technique fabric. So this moves like there are like warp beam. We are also having a frame of yarns around the machine where the yarns are taken from different guiding China clay tubes, and through them the yarns are passed, and by help of needles the weaving is knitting is taking place. These are the two processes. Now, when you get the fabric woven as well as knitted, it is passed through processes called as desizing, scouring, bleaching, dyeing, and printing. Now, when the fabric is made, you are applying a sizing component to the warp beam so that it gets additional strength. To remove that, to get it water absorbent, you have to remove the size by help of enzymatic desizing or acid desizing, and then it is further passed to scouring and bleaching, where the color of the fabric is obtained white or semi-white, depending on whether it is going as a full optic white or dyed fabric. It is further printed, either bleach printed or dyed printed, depending on the case. Finally, the fabric is applied different chemical finishes like softeners, antimicrobial, or as per the customer choice. But there are various kinds of finishes now developed in the industry, depending on the customer requirement. So in the scouring and bleaching, I will just tell you that wax is removed and the wax and sizes are removed, and the fabric is made absorbent for dyes. This is a bleaching range, Monfong scoring and bleaching range. These are various kinds. There are various kinds of moisturizing and bleaching ranges available. One of the slide you are seeing. There are continuous bleaching as well as semi-continuous bleaching also available. Then dyeing as well as semi-continuous dyeing, that is batch-wise dyeing, is also available, where the fabric is dyed in the rope form and taken out. Once the fabric is taken out, it is either, this is a continuous dyeing slide. The earlier slide was discontinuous dyeing. When you dye continuously, either it is pad batch or pad jig or continuous wet fixation, these kinds of machines are directly applying colors are applied and dried. soaped, washed, dried. After drying, I mean, it can be bleached printed or dyed printed. These are the rotary printing machine, screen printing machines. It is printed and finally it is finished by giving different kinds of finishes at a higher temperature and straightened to the required dimensions of width and length and pre-shrinkage parameters. Once the cloth is made, it is passed through inspection machine, and this is apparel section where the garmenting is done as per the cut fabric, which is given for stitching. So these are the aesthetic textiles. The non-aesthetic textiles are technical, mostly technical textile, and there are at least 12 different kinds of 12 to 15 different kinds of classification of textiles are available. Technical textiles are there: agro, build tech, cloth tech, geotech, home tech, industrial tech, meditech, mobile tech. I mean, depending on the end use, these technical fabrics are there. These have got less aesthetic property and more the property desired for the end use. I think hello.
You want me to move to the next slide, sir?
Yeah. The fabric supplier, I mean, ultimately what happens, you are making technical textile by purchasing a gray fabric or a bleach fabric and applying different coats of the chemicals for depending on the use of, depending on the end use. So these kinds of technical textiles are vastly progressing in India, and the growth which is there in the industrial textile is called as our technical textile is estimated to be 30%, as I'm hearing from last so many years, than the normal aesthetic fabrics. So there is a huge scope for these technical textiles. I'll come to the general quality control equipment. Quality control equipments are there for passing the fabric for the further section. There are various kinds of microscopes available, air blower for checking the fiber fineness of the microner value. There are things which are available for grammage, that is the count of the yarn, the strength of the vertical strength of the warp and weft wise strength checkings. All things are available in industry. Feeding tester, then the rough fastness tester for the processed fabric, the absorbency tester, or say water repellency, depending on the end use, crease recovery. All these kinds of, this is a light fastness tester, xenon light fading fastness. Yeah, this I'm just showing the general quality and process control equipment. This is a AutoLab color matching machine where you can match the particular color by precision weighing of the colors, depending on the computer color matching requirement. Then third point is that choosing the right technology. Right technology, I will definitely tell that there is no ready-made answer for the right technology. What are your requirements? What is the entrepreneur wishes to make a particular product? Depending on that, you have to make a market survey, and the final product has to be studied depending on the financial capacity of raising funds and suitable product. I mean, depending on the market survey, one's capacity, the technology can be chosen as per the needs and the availability of funds. It comprises of all the details, and risk analysis has to be made by the respective consultant in the field, and a detailed technology route can be decided from the available resources. There is no ready-made answer available. Even if one project is running on a particular cost module or say fixed cost, the other man who is going to start new project will not be able to do on the same cost and otherwise. So these are different. He has to innovate more and more things. So choosing the right technology is always important, but there are no ready-made answers. You have to decide the route, and with the technical consultancy only it can be done. One has to really work hard on to make things happen. Sourcing raw material.
So before going ahead, I have a question.
Yes.
So the question is, when you talk about technical fibers, I want to know a little bit more. Our audience also would like to know a little bit more about the use case of the technical fiber. And the second would be, let's say, if you talk about the market size, like of the technical fiber, what can be a market size that we can target to? And if you can throw some light that if you have to use a particular technical fiber where we have, what is the go-to market strategies? We have to go. Any idea you can show on that?
I tell you again, look, there are various, it's very difficult for a man like me who has not worked in technical textiles. I have worked on mostly on aesthetic textiles. Technical textiles, I'm just giving the size, the size of the market. I have not studied because, it is ever expanding. Instead of going for ever expanding, if somebody asks me, I will definitely give answer for that. But right now, I don't have answer in that. There are geotextiles, there are home textiles. Home textile is a domestic textile, meditech, mobile tech. Nowadays, I will not be able to answer your question because I don't have that data of how much technical textile market is there. One has to select a particular product, then depending on that, survey can be made. Number one. Number two, the raw material is always like basic textile, and then you are having coats. The coating technology or the chemical in the coating recipes are particularly patented one, or say they are very specific from one product to another product. Say like you are supplying some technical fiber to ISRO, where it requires a particular fabric for say going in the space. That is entirely secretive type of technology, and every technical textile has got a different modus operandi and the details of chemicals. Now, there are say like sports shoes. You have got a basic shoe has got 7 different layers of technical textile. These are simple textile covered with a polyvinyl to ranging to polypropylene, and various kinds of chemicals are applied, and depending on the resilience and the slippage and the resistance of friction, all these are all very specific things. So I will not be able to answer this question. Let me be very frank on this. But if anybody wants any information or this market study can be done. I had tried myself to make a technical textile some 15 years ago, but I could not because of the non-availability of the right chemical. China has already progressed a huge, it has already progressed a lot in this line. It is governing all the global market of technical textile. India has entered, but it will take some time for India to compete this. The market is huge, but we have to be cost competent. Market is huge. Our costs are very high as compared to China. We cannot beat China because of the political model and the labor cost in say countries like Bangladesh, or labor cost in countries like China are very low than that of India. If you are producing a fabric with a labor cost consuming $0.22 per kilo or per meter, in India it is 0.55. So we are 2.5 times more than what is global requirement. This is the labor cost, and that is killing. So I am answering a different thing to you. Though you asked me what is the market size and what are the technical textile, these are raw material specific, the application specific, and the use specific.
Thank you, sir. So, to just add on to this, what we see nowadays, the activewear in India has increased a lot compared to the past. Like, because now there are a lot of, the sports activities and other activities has been encouraged all across India by different government programs. So, do you think going further, like, this can be another, as you mentioned that it is possible, but do you see a possibility that India can also come into the global market where we are able to can reduce the production cost, reduce the gross cost over there, and can it help that way also, sir? What do you think?
You see, sports segment is very widely being expanding. The travel and tourism is expanding. So activities like parasailing or say parachute, all these things are having definitely great market provided we are competent. There is a huge market in both in house, that is in country, as well as we can be a good exporter also. But our cost cutting, we are not a communist country. Our costs are definitely going to be always a challenge for us. China cost you cannot beat. Bangladesh cost you can, but the Bangladesh living standards and Indian people living standards are entirely different. My point is that we can buy the fabric and apply the ports at a low cost chemical. We have to invent more on this technical textile rather than we can have a less competition in geotextiles. We can have less competition in biomedicals. All those adult diapers, there is a huge demand of adult diapers. Earlier, they were not at all in the market in India. But now there is a huge demand of child diapers, adult diapers. They're all technical textiles. The parasailing fabrics or the parachute fabrics, then your sports fabric. Sports fabric, there are some of the sports wears are technical textiles. They are absorbing moisture from inside, but they are waterproof from outside. It is very difficult to make such kind of things, and they are being made and being sold in a competitive rate. And Indian buying capacity has also increased, but globally we are not able to compete. That is my observation. So,
right, sir. Thank you so much.
Sourcing the raw material, I think I will wind up now. The cotton is, you can buy cotton from CCI, various state cotton marketing federations. Then viscose is can be procured by Aditya Birla Viscose, polyester from Reliance Industries, AVM Syntex, that is formerly known as Welspun Syntex, Indorama, Nickelon, well-known polyester. Linen can be procured from Austria. It's a bast fiber. You have to beat the stems and you get the fiber like what you get in jute. Cotton viscose you can from Jayashree Textiles, Aditya Birla. Then acrylic from Birla Krill, wool from Australia, silk China. There are bodies already. All India bodies are available for this federation. Like say the fibers which you have to import, say linen, then wool. Silk, China is number one. Indian boards are there. Since you are sitting in Bangalore, there is a silk board in Bangalore. I did not tell about where to procure silk from, and there are various varieties available right from Bengal, Orissa, Andhra, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu. So various kinds of silk boards are available. So this is the sourcing of raw material. One can get from the knit where you can buy. If anybody has any problem of procurement, while making the project report, I can definitely see the people who can source or people who are already in the trade. They also know the sourcing of raw material, like I say, ancillary raw materials, spinning yogurt, spare parts, engineering items, spindles, bobbins. This is I'm telling for the non-textile people. People who are already in textile might find it a child's play. Pots and aprons, rubber rollers, technical textile material, die springs, perforated bobbins. 18,000 items are required for a spinning and a composite unit mills. More than that, there are 100 groups in the stores. The store man is having such a huge list of materials. They are unable to maintain that unless there is a SAP or otherwise. These can be obtained through various suppliers of Mumbai and machinery manufacturers, those which are machine spare parts. The dyes and chemicals, there are many companies have merged in Archroma like BASF and Huntsman. So Archroma is the number one now. CST is there. Local dyes and chemical manufacturers plenty in Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Ahmedabad and not Bangalore, Ahmedabad, Bharuch, Ankleshwar. Not many people in India also around Thane, Mumbai. Chemicals, bulk chemical supplies can be obtained from a common salt, rubber salt, soda ash, acetic acid, caustic soda, solvent. They are from GHCL, Tata, Aditya Birla Group, and Gujarat Narmada Valley Corporation. So these are the sourcing of raw material. All these things are very primary of nature because it's a huge list of suppliers and it cannot be completed in a very small session like this. I come to the last part, last but one part, that is navigating regulatory compliance and industry standards. Am I crossing the time?
It's fine, sir. You can quickly.
Yeah, I'm summarizing and coming to it. This is a penultimate point. The navigating regulatory compliance is that state and central government regulatory compliance are Companies Act 2013, Income Tax Act 1961, GST. These are all, some of them are HR type of things, some of them are factory management type of things. You have to have, once you make a factory, you have to comply at least 25 different components up to effluent treatment. Say boiler inspection is there, pressure vessel treatment is there, you have to all the, so many things are there. So these are the state government and state and central government regulatory compliance. Whereas those people who are already in entrepreneurship, they know it all. Those who want to enter also are also aware of this thing. Those who do not know at all, for them, I am giving these things. Then there's a regulatory compliance, how industries, there are different kinds of regulatory compliance which are required on the basis of the product which is required when you are exporting. Say every sector has its own standard of old standards by way of design or maintenance or how it executes the operation. The most of the audits which are done is ISO 9000 to ISO 14000 for the environment friendly. There are various kinds of quality management principles, QMP 1 to 7, that is customer focus, leadership, engagement of people, process approach, improvement, evidence-based decision making. These are all the audits are to be done. ISO 9000 is the global standard of quality management and quality assurance, and the most of the recognized quality frameworks for operations it adheres to. So these certificates, I'm just showing how their logos are ISO 9001 and ISO for green in revolution. There are certain kinds of people who are purchasing cotton. They need to, when they make the product, they need to have a Ocotex certified. These are the standards which are Ocotex is there. This is the organic cotton where the cotton has to be certified that there is no synthetic or human skin harming chemicals being used while cultivating the cotton. This is Ocotex. So then there are certain industries, buyer houses, which require their own audit. They want to do. All these certificates are where you stand in the supply chain. All these certificates are required depending on where you stand in the supply chain. Accordingly, one has to obtain this by applying competent international authority to their representative or authorized institutes in India. First, a preliminary audit is done, then training of the staff is done, maintaining and following the procedure is done. Then main audit is done after completion of and execution of the all the records. Certification is obtained by successful passing the audit. Likewise, in US, EU, and Asia Pacific banks have their own factory procedure checking and product specification norms, and they have to have their own accounting system. So that kind of Tesco, Morris Phillips, Dillard, IKEA, Walmart, Kmart. I mean, I will need not name all this. There are hundreds and hundreds of buyer houses. They have got their own standard. Likewise, after the blast in 2001 in America, they have introduced a called as CTPAT audit. CTPAT is Customer Trade Against the Terrorist Activities. So that's a huge audit to be done. Then only your product may be good, you might be ISO modified, but you need to comply this CTPAT. That is Customer Trade Against the Customer Trade Pact Against Terrorist Activities. So these kinds of audits are done, various kinds of records have to be made, then follow-up audits are done. Now I come to the ultimate part of the intensive incentive. Sorry, this is incentive. This is incentive. Incentive. Incentive and subsidies given by the Ministry of Textile. These are for ginning, processing, pressing sector, spinning sector, power loom sector, processing sector, knitting, hosiery, garment sector, sericulture, that is silk, wool sector, and of course, they are not given so far in technical textile, but they promote textile, technical textile. In all, the Ministry of Central Ministry of Textile always gives subsidies by classifying the zones in their own state. Like Maharashtra, they have got 4 zones, which are depending on the developmental on the which type of development a particular zone is. Select Vidarbha and Konkan, Maharashtra, Marathwada, and Western Maharashtra, depending on their section, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4. And government is giving financial assistance in the terms of capital, say from 30 to 45%. This is on the basic cost of the machine, not on the taxes and otherwise. Exclusively basic cost of the machine. Say somebody is importing 10 lakhs rupees machine, you will get, depending on the zone, percentage of that. But the taxes which are attracted by the machine cost will not be given by government. And this is for MSME, the large enterprise. Are you able to see the things for MSME, for large and for mega project, various kinds of things depending on their employment generation capacity. Say like a mega project, they are getting 55% of the maximum because they are attracting more than 250 crores of value, and they are able to generate more employment. And the power subsidy is given. This is as per the Annexure A, which is the last slide of my lecture. This is depending on the whether the connection is of high tension or low tension. The value is depending on what is the connected load. Say for low tension up to 20 kilowatt, it is 3 rupees 77 paisa. Then above 20, it is 3 rupees 40 paisa per unit. In Maharashtra, the power cost for a unit is more than 11 rupees. Now, if we get a 30 to 35% of that chunk, you save a lot in the working, in the cost of the product. So these are the things you can have. Other benefits also, government can also invest, help you to share their capital in your equity, but it is all case of project to project. So this is my last slide of the lecture. That is, thank you all. If you have got any question, please ask. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I am unable to cobble up. So many things were there for me to tell, but subject topic scope was very wide, and still I crossed your limit.
No, sir. It's fine, sir. I think the audience also helped a lot. There are a lot of information that has been passed on to it. So I really would like to thank you from SolutionBuggy side for enhancing our knowledge and helping throughout learning a lot so much from the. Post this, I would like to hand over my mic to Mr. Satyapati. Hi, Mr. Satyapati. Are you able to hear me?
Hi, good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir. You're audible. So I assume that you have connected from two systems. If possible, that other camera, if you can face it to yourself or adjust in such a way that
I'm connected from laptop and from my mobile, both.
yes, sir.
I switch off one.
Yes, sir. You can switch off the video of the mobiles. Great. So I think our team will again share the slide, and please you can go ahead with it. I hand over the mic to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Yeah,
Yes,
good
sir.
morning.
Eco.
So you are not audible in some way?
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Now I can hear you.
Yes, audible.
Yes, sir, you're audible now. So the slide is there. Our team will help you to go ahead with the slides. I think you can start with the sessions.
Am I audible right now?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir. You're audible. I can hear you, sir.
Hi, good morning. This is our Deshpandeji already explained about the textile process, how to manufacture yarn, the threads and fabrics, what are the process involved. But today we'll be giving more emphasis on export scenario from India, the global textile and apparel market trends and size, and the business opportunities for the small scale investors, medium, large, and micro scale also. So textile and apparel, it's a big value chain. Actually, it's a very big value chain. We'll focus upon today apparels and to some extent technical textiles and their setup, manufacturing setups, investment opportunities, government subsidies, and the global demand, the market size, and the investment, minimum investment required. All those things we will discuss in a very brief way in a short span of time. So normally the growing demand for apparel and fashion now, you know, mantra sites, there are online lot of e-commerce sites where they are selling lot of garments, value-added garment, fashion styles, different fast forward fashions, daily core products, core volumes. So there are opportunities are many, and the younger generation, they are adopting the fast fashion. Every day they need a new theme, new concept they want to wear, feel, and they need to enjoy their life. So this is something very fashionable things. It is not predictable, but there is a niche market. The volume is very high, and the demand is very high. So e-commerce demand is now the trending demand because of digitization and globalization and easily internet and access through mobiles and different apps. So it is very easy to select your dress and order it and wear it. If it is not suitable, you can return it back. You get back your money. Okay, it's very convenient to get the things on your mobile phone. So that is one thing. The textile market size is almost around the entire world is 1,837 billion US dollar. 1 billion US dollar in Indian rupees, if you convert, it is roughly around 8,350 crores. Okay. So the annual compound annual growth rate of textile is 7.4% global. So let us think about India. Next slide, we'll think about India. This is the global scenario. The growth rate is CAGR of 7.4%. And this is the global market size. You can see the projection till 2030. So we have taken figures from 2019, 20, and 21, 22. United States, their growth rate is 6% annual CAGR. European Union, then China, then India. India is only 6% growth rate. And they are projecting 9% growth rate by 2030, so that we can reach almost $180 billion US dollar. Okay. So India currently in textile and apparel, this is the scenario of export scenario, global textile and apparel trade, and the growth rate, compound annual growth rate, CAGR is compound annual growth rate, annual growth, 3% to 4%, but we are targeting 9%, but we are achieving only 4%. This is the scenario. And the market size is 2021, the textile and apparel trade was $871 billion global. And it is expected to reach $1.2 trillion by 2030. That is a forecast for this particular sector. So on an average, the global CAGR is 4%. Apparel was the largest traded category in 2021 with a 57% share, followed by fabrics with a share of 17%. So next slide, we can see the further details. Leading textile and apparel exporters country-wise, if you can see, China is the leader and the volume is $153 billion in textile, 164 $ in apparel. Total is 318 billion $. 37% global share. China is here. Bangladesh next 5%, $42 billion. 42.5. India is 41.5. So we are in third position now. I think Vietnam is going to
Yes.
lead India, and India will be the fourth position because the Vietnam is trending very fast in exports. And other countries like Italy, Turkey, US, Spain, Netherlands, and other countries are there. So this is all about global export, textile and apparel export. Category wise, if you can see, natural fibers, the 𝐶𝐻 already explained. So we are exporting fibers and man-made staple fiber products, natural fiber products, synthetic spun products, and man-made spun man-made product, different category, fiber-wise category exports. Next slide, we can go. Next.
Yeah, sir, before going ahead, just wanted to understand. You mentioned that China is leading. Other than a cheap labor, anything else that you would like to say that why China is leading the globally in these kind of things?
I'll catch up because this is something which. Okay. Next slide will go. Then I'll answer your questions and all queries at the last.
Sure, sir, sure. Thank you, sir.
Next, category wise, leading exporters, woven fabrics, knitted fabrics. There are two types of fabrics. One is knitted fabric, one is woven fabrics. And apparel and home textiles. Apparel means the garment. We are saying garment. Ladies, gents, women's, men's, children's, all garments are apparel category. International terminology is apparel. And home textiles like bed sheets, pillow cover, cushion covers, bedspreads, and table cover, window screen, door screens. These products comes under home textiles. Okay, next we'll see. Next slide. Yeah. So key happenings here: soft global demand due to high inflation rate and economic slowdown. Normally, India is a very highly populated country. The labor costs. This is a textile and apparel sector is a very labor intensive industry sector. We need a lot of manpower in our industries. So the labor charge is the prime factor of determining whether we can get some benefits or not out of. So the inflation is very high in European countries. Currently running USA also economy slowdown is there. So demand is very volatile because we are basically our Indian market is 120 US billion, $120 billion Indian domestic market size, and we are roughly exporting $40 billion to entire other countries like US, Europe, and Australia, and other countries. So raw material price is also very volatile. So something is we got the order, but we could not able to execute because the price has gone up. By the time we accept order and deliver the goods, the price has gone up. So this is also very challenging scenario for the exporters right now. But the things are now stabilizing a lot. Government is also acting to stabilize the price of the cotton, which is fluctuating very often. And China loss become Bangladesh, Vietnam's gain. Now China is losing because the labor cost is rising high there. They could not able to meet the cost given by the buyer. So now the Bangladesh and Vietnam, this is very poor countries. Their labor charge is very less. So they are attracting more orders because of labor cost is cheaper. Okay. European Union sustainability is also another factor. So European Commission published EU strategy for sustainable and circular textiles. I'll come across this particular topic, what is sustainable and circular textiles in later slides. Next slide. Next one. India's domestic textile and apparel market. Let us now we discussed about global market. Now we are discussing about Indian domestic market, our own country consumptions and the market size and market volumes. This is all about our Indian domestic market size grown from US 50 billion to 2010. It was only 50 billion US dollar, and today it is almost 2022 110. Now it is 140 roughly US billion dollar market size, and our growth rate, our Indian domestic market size growth rate is 10% annual growth, and global growth rate is only 4%. So there is enough opportunity in our India to establish a small unit, manufacturing unit, and gain out of that. Government is giving a lot of subsidies for micro and small entrepreneurs. Okay, next slide we will cover. Next slide. Indian textile and apparel market size is estimated around 160 billion US dollars. Latest trend in fashion now, it is a virtual reality. Now many AI advanced embedded technology has come up. Virtual reality, they are making virtual imaging. You can now order your dress from taking the size of the garment from camera of your laptop. That is also possible. Your exact body size will be captured and the dimension will be captured. It will be converted into pattern. They will make the garment and ship to your address. You will wear and it will fit you perfectly as per your body size. This is what virtual reality is playing a big role now. Next slide. And this is the growth rate of Indian textiles. Next. So it is estimated almost next. Now is sustainable and eco-friendly textiles. That is a now big challenge, because some of the chemicals we are using, it is a very big threat to the environment and the people, human beings, living entities. So there are certain rules and regulations to ban certain hazardous chemicals, dyes, auxiliaries, and printing materials, all those things. And sustainable textiles means now circular fashion has come up. Whatever we are wearing and using and throwing it, we can reuse, उसको upscale करके reuse कर सकते हैं. उसमें से फिर धागा निकाल के yarn we can derive yarn, we can make fabric, we can reuse the fabric, and we can save our environment. And this way we can also reuse our products instead of losing it forever. Okay. So we have to design for longevity, sustainable material and practices, repair, refurbish and upcycle, recycling, adoption of closed loop systems. So it is like open loop we are using and throwing it is open loop. Now closed loop means we will reuse that. It is going to help us in the long term. It is going to help us to stabilize the demand. Some demand will be filled up by the reuse of textiles. Next. See, environmental benefits on circular textiles, circular fashions means reduction of waste. Textile waste has been, see, from Bhubaneswar, one city in India, Odisha, 3 lakh garments per day municipality is throwing, and people are throwing to the municipality garbage. 3 lakh garments they are collecting one day. So you imagine how many millions of garments we can collect, and we can refurbish and rescale, upscale, and it is we can reuse it. So this is going to reduce our textile waste and conservation of natural resources. We can protect our nature and natural resources instead of forgetting forever and throwing it forever. Reduction of carbon emissions. So no need to manufacture more and the emission is more. So emission means the fire we are using, the wood we are using for boiling the water and making it steam. Boilers are used for textiles and apparel industries. So we can reduce carbon emissions by avoiding such things. Preservation of biodiversity, we can preserve our nature and environment. Next. So environmental benefits of circular fashion. So it is already I explained to you before: reduction of carbon emissions, less pollution, preservation of biodiversity, promotion of sustainable farming and ethical practices, conservation of natural resources. All these are benefits of circular fashions and sustainable textiles. Next. So how to, there are the government of India has made a lot of policies, programs, schemes for the benefit of apparel industry, textile industries. Now, our Prime Minister, the Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi ji has started one PM Mitra program, 7 mega textile program, textile parks in different states, Maharashtra and Gujarat and other states. They are manufacturing hub they are making, so that the employment, because it is next to agriculture, textile and apparel is the labor intensive industry, next to the employment is very high. So government is supporting to promote this particular industry. Next. So there are different technology scheme given by the Government of India, Ministry of Textiles, and I have given the details: technical textile, integrated textile parks, and additional grant for apparel manufacturing under a scheme for integrated textile park, summer scheme for capacity building, training for jute sector also, skill Samagra, national handloom development program, handicraft development programs. So government now rebate of state and central taxes and levies means any exporter is exporting the product, whatever taxes he has paid during manufacturing of yarn, during conversion of yarn to fabric, fabric to printed dyed fabric, then into garments, whatever conversion costs and different costs involved in taxation, various taxations, government is returning back almost based on the fiber. It is 2.2% almost. You will get the value 100 crore if you are exporting, almost 2.7 crore you will get back as whatever tax you have paid during your semi-finished products, that you will get as a rebate from the Government of India. It was earlier very high, now government has reduced. The scheme for production of an employment scheme support for garmenting units. Now government is giving a lot of supports for garmenting unit, establishing garmenting unit, small way, big way, whatever way you want. You can invest from 5 crore to 500 crore based on your requirements. Minimum requirement is 100 machines factory, 2.5 crore will be the investment without land and building, and some working capital 3 months, 6 months. If you calculate, almost if you have 5 crore, you can start a small manufacturing unit, garment manufacturing unit. Next. So anyone interested, they can get in touch with SolutionBuggy, providing the turnkey project solutions, starting from prepare of a project report till implementation of the projects, supporting, giving a supporting and a helping hand in supply chain and procurement, establishing the manpower, training, and converting into a commercial manufacturing hub. So that support is SolutionBuggy will be providing in detail, and it's a turnkey project solution. SolutionBuggy is going to provide to all attendees, whoever are interested for this particular industry and projects. License, there are various license required. There is a list of license from factories and boilers, and the certificate of incorporation from register of companies, memorandum of associations, fire NOC, factory license, trademark registrations, import and export license, GST registration, factories and boiler certification. These are the mandatory certificates we need to get from the government. It will be now it is single window clearance system. Every government is now made, so it will be very easy to apply at one shot and get the details within a period of 6 months time maximum. Next. Minimum wages, every state has their minimum wages act. As per the minimum wages, we can
Was critical.
categorically take people like on skill, semi skill, skill, high skill, multi skill. There are different categories. So you can take manpower and provide and pay the minimum wages as per state government provision. And human rights, there are certain human rights because this industry involves 95% women workers. So women worker health, hygiene, safety, and their working conditions and their safety details, all those things are into the policies that we can comply with the government of India policies. Employee welfare activities, we need to provide creche for children because the pregnant mothers and the early first the delivery, second delivery, whatever child she has to carry the child has to be fed in the manufacturing center. There should be provision, food and education, small education, all those things. There should be ambulance, minimum care, health care in case of any accidents. So there are certain provisions that we need to comply as per Government of India rules and policy and procedure. So next, working hours, no child labor. These are certain things are there. So from the line, I have given a typical requirement for a small 100 basin swing factory. If you want to establish, so land requirement is only 3,500 square feet and only total investment 1.5 crore excluding land building and working capital. For 200 swing machines, it is 6,000 square feet is required and 3 crores excluding land building and working capital. This is very small investment. Anyone who is interested to start, they can start with immediate effect through SolutionBuggy, and all the solutions will be provided. Business solutions will be provided by the solution. Next. So this is all about. Now I will come to my mobile and I will try to reply all of your queries, whatever you have. Sir, anyone interested to ask anything?
Yeah. So, sir, as we were discussing in between. So, you mentioned that China has the highest, in the apparel business currently, and as
Yeah.
the China labor force cost is also increasing, how can India, let's say, if we have to put India in that category, and we cannot reduce the labor cost after a certain extent, as you said. What are the other strategies that we can think of this industry? Because this looks like a booming industry.
See, there are government is providing subsidies to compensate the cost of manufacturing. Suppose in India, if you are going to set up a apparel manufacturing unit, the labor subsidy government is providing. What labor subsidy? If you employ one girl, a female worker, per month government of Odisha is paying 6,000 rupees. So if you pay minimum wages 8,000 rupees, only 2,000 rupees you will pay per worker. So this is a benefit, direct benefit given by the government, state government. Another thing, there is interest subsidy. If you apply for loan also, 5% interest subsidy. So the subsidies, whatever government is providing, it is compensating the cost. So even if the cost is bit higher, I agree, but still we cannot because government do not want to lower the minimum wages. They every year or every 5 years they want an increment. They want a growth of life. So that is there. But still, government in other ways they are providing subsidies for capital subsidy 40%. Interest subsidy 5%, electricity subsidy, labor subsidy 6,000 rupees per worker for 5 years. So all these benefits you will be getting and compensating the cost. So this way it will be beneficial, and the overall payback period, that is called break-even period for a small unit, will be 4.5 years to 5 years. So 4.5 years to 5 years will be your payback period. So there will be no issue. We can still measure competent in apparel sector in globally, and in India, our sector is growing at 10% growth rate, annual growth rate. So it is a very promising sector to set up industry and go ahead with the business because there are enough opportunities available.
Okay.
Anything else?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So before going ahead, we'll be starting a poll question. So as we're starting the poll question, I would request all the attendees to respond to that poll question. Meanwhile, we have certain. Sir, you have a question?
Got a question.
Yes. So meanwhile, the poll question will be started. Attendees can go ahead.
What I am asking for the garment unit, or for that matter, any textile unit, when you go for export, say like a garment factory who's exporting, what is the minimum size of a garment factory where it can bear the cost of the compliance, the research and development? Because even our garment industry has to also do R&D, not on the cutting and stitching side. There might be, but more on the hazard-free, this Aquatex certified, or even WATS, all those things, the certifications to be done. All this cost of audits and the cost of doing research. What is the minimum size of a unit where it can bear the cost? Small unit with a 25 or say 50 machine may not be able to bear the cost. What is the minimum size where it can bear the cost?
As per government policy, you should have minimum 200 workers to avail the government facility, government benefits. If it is less than 200 workers, so you are not entitled to get government benefits.
Yes.
This is one thing. So to 200 workers means 100 machines factory. If you start, you can employ 200 manpower and you can get the benefits of the government.
Another question is that when say overtime wages and all this minimum wages question, where they always, the outside factories which have come across all the other buying houses, when they make audit, they are always emphasizing whether you are following the state rule or not. Where we are giving minimum wages, but still they don't give the certificate, but they give certificate to China people or to Vietnam people. This is anomaly in India. This is what I come across with.
So see, if you are going for export, your factory need to be complied and as per the rule given by the buyer. So every buyer has their own compliance standard. It is not one particular standard which everybody has to follow. So every buyer has their own compliance standard. So if you want to make a compliance factory, 100 machines factory will not be a compliance factory, and you cannot invest more on that. It will be domestic products, non-compliance factory you can manufacture with minimum requirement, basic requirements. And if you want to establish a export unit, then you have to invest more. 500 machines factory, 1000 machines factory. You can comply all requirements and you can export from day one. So that is what possible. So many
for export unit, you quoted a figure of say 500 workers.
Yes. So if you are going for a 1000 machines factory, you need to invest 50 crores to 50 to 55 crores. Investment is there, complying all the requirements of the export buyers. So it will be a fully compliance factory.
My second question was, when government is giving, say, if you are employing 200 people, then only government, all these subsidies will be availed. When you are availing, then the possible reduction in the labor cost, or for that matter, overall cost, is not being exhibited by the manufacturer. Now, this is where the matter of challenge, the matter of competing with China or Vietnam comes. Though government is promoting everything, why the unit doesn't work, or say why the costs are not competitive? Your insights, please.
If you calculate the cost of benefits given by the government, whatever benefits they have given, and if you calculate, and you will be always in profit from the day one itself.
Is what I'm
But
talking. That is
the
what I'm,
Indian, yeah,
but still we do not compete with the cost, and the unit still goes. Uh,
yeah. If
and
you
so
go,
now
if you,
what I want to tell you got my point. Still, when the man who starts industry for generation of employment and making his life also okay, it doesn't happen even if the government facilities are working. They are ठीक है, आपको जीएसटी में ये नहीं मिलता है, परतावा नहीं मिलता है, yeah, the chain you have to submit. There's a lot of hue and cry on GST also.
see, in India, we have more than 10,000 garment units.
Ah.
How they are running and how they are surviving without profits. They have profits,
That is what
but
I'm telling. The company
but
balance
they,
sheet
yeah, balance sheet they will show loss.
and
Because,
content and cost do not come down.
yeah, and whatever benefits they will not calculate as benefits.
वो तो
They will take it as a blessings.
yes, in disguise for
So
others.
anyone interested to take government blessings, they can start immediately garment, venture into apparel sector.
Yes.
So lot of benefits. Sir.
हेलो, अरे मालूम है सब. हम लकड़ी लेते हैं वहां से बेनिफिट चालू होता है 5% जीएसटी उसके ऊपर. It has brought under certain things, they are in 5%, 12%, 18% category. The government has even reduced the GST taxation on the fuel, on the some certain raw materials, but we only avail the things. We do not pass it to the consumer.
Anything else from audience?
Yeah, I will now limit my.
Yes, sir. So one of the audience has a question that how much land is required for a small unit. I assume that you have already given the answer. But
I have
just
given
for
the answer 3,500 square feet. It is so you can calculate accordingly. And the minimum requirement for 100 machines factory. If you go for 200 and multiples of that, we can also make a detailed project report for you. And we'll also provide you what are the benefits you will be getting, direct benefits from government of the various state government and various government of India also, and how you can kickstart your project with the immediate support of SolutionBuggy. That also will provide details.
sure. Thank you for
Anything else
responding to that, sir.
anyone want to ask? Please
Mr.
feel
Kiran,
free to ask me. I am here to answer all your queries.
sure.
Please. Okay.
I hope Mr. Kiran Kumar, your query is resolved. If anybody else has a query, they can type it in the question.
Odisha, there are enough opportunities. Now it is a booming industry. Garment industry is a booming industry. In 2024, January and February, 2 months time, Odisha attracted 26 entrepreneurs, big investment, almost more than 10,000 crore investment in garment sector only. And out of that, Wellspun is investing 3,500 crores in Odisha. Epic Bangladesh, Hong Kong, Epic Group, the Hong Kong Group is investing almost 477 crores in Odisha. And out of that, there are Jockey is investing already start. They are going to start the manufacturing. The project is completed. It's almost 400 crore project in Odisha. All three big players, along with some 50 60 crore investment, almost another 10 or 15 garment manufactured from Noida, from Tirupur, from Ahmedabad. So many investors are coming to Odisha because Odisha government is giving major benefits. In comparison to other states, Odisha is giving the highest benefit at the moment for setting up manufacturing facility, garment manufacturing facility in Odisha.
I
So
think
you
ICT also has started we have started our ICT, Institute of Chemical Technology. They are in Odisha.
Thank you, sir, for that response. So I would request all attendees to please fill the poll. Meanwhile, we had a question from Mr. Kiran Kumar. So I'll just bring it to the dais. Yeah, Mr. Kiran Kumar, you can ask the question.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we are on. We can hear you.
was an excellent webinar from both the panelists. So my question is to the Buddhanand Satapathy.
Yes.
For a 100 machine factory, what would be you mentioned about the investment size, you mentioned about the land allocation, you mentioned about the location. Orissa is giving plenty of opportunities for the new investment. For a for an entrepreneur to enter into this textile industry in a small establishment way, how could it benefit if we establish near the big players like Welspun or any other factory nearby? And what would be the at least the gross profit margin in the net revenue, in the gross revenue?
I'll answer one by one. Benefits are same for Welspun. Benefits are same for small investors. It is one policy given by devised by the government. Whatever policy is same for all. So all benefits what Welspun will be taking same benefits. If you set 100 machines factory, you will be also availing the same benefits. This is one thing. The other thing, the cost benefit 10 to 15% margin you will be getting in a period of 90 days period, 90 days cycle. So 3 months period is your lead time to rotate your money. So today, if you invest 1 crore in working capital, this 1 crore will become 1.10 crore in 3 months time. This is what the cycle you have to go along.
Okay.
Thank you for responding to that question. If anybody else has a question, they can raise the hand and I can bring
Yeah,
them.
please ask me. I am ready to answer all your queries. Whatever it is, don't feel shy. Please answer. Please ask me. I am here to answer all your queries, doubts, whatever.
So I'll request the attendees again to just raise the hand so that I can bring it to the dais and sir can help you out in the answer. Go ahead, Mr.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So what would be the gross revenue for the 3 crore investment factory, and what would be the profit margin in that revenue?
Profit margin, I told you 10% will be the minimum profit you'll be availing. So if your investment is suppose 1 crore, in a 3 months time, it will become 1.10 crore. Means 10 lakh rupees you'll be getting the benefits in 3 months time. In a year, you can rotate it 4 times or minimum 3 times, you will get 30 lakhs.
Okay.
This is what.
So unit capacity would be 365 days.
Yeah, you have to, this is what working capital, your capital investment for machinery, building and all, which is fixed, and that cost I am not calculating. This cost I am calculating your investment into the product, manufacturing product. If you invest 1 crore, you will be getting 1.10 crore in 3 months time. So in a year, you can rotate it 4 times, you can get 40 lakhs.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I make it very simple so that you can understand easily. Okay.
Yes. I understand.
Yes.
Thank you.
Please ask me. Don't shy. Please ask me whatever question is coming, because we are going to support you 100% in establishing your units and giving 100% support, technological know-how, and all government supports, liaising supports with the governments. Establishing your projects, all supports will be given.
How much time it will take to complete
6
setup
months
of the
time,
factory and commission?
6 months time, you from the day you can get the land, 6 months time, and within a 1 year time you can start manufacturing.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So we have 2 more questions from 2 more and any of the panelists will be able to respond. So I would encourage all the attendees to ask the question. You can actually raise the hand. I can bring you to the dais and I can take it back. So we have 2 more questions, sir. So one is from Mr. Ved. It's like yarn manufacturing or apparel. Which one is more lucrative?
See, yarn manufacturing investment is very huge. what Deshpandeji told, no, spinning, milk spinning, aesthetic textiles, all those things required 1,000 crores, 500 crores. So it is not a, it's all big players. Okay.
MSME project nahi hai wo.
Yeah, it is a big investment project.
It's a large.
I am telling you about very small investment projects, which is possible. You can become an entrepreneur if you have 5 crore, 10 crore also money. You can get bank loan also. Bank is supporting, providing term loans, working capital loans. Anything else?
Yes, sir. There's one more question by him. I'm not sure what he's actually trying to ask. So there's a third party manufacturing and how do we get it?
How to?
Yeah. So
Didn't get the question. Can I please repeat the question?
yeah, I think he has not mentioned it. So I would request Mr. Ved to write down the question. So I have one question from Mr. Deshpande, sir. So yeah,
It's not a question. This is a supplementary answer to sir has told just now. There was one question regarding what is the yarn manufacturing, smallest yarn manufacturing unit can be done. The smallest unit can be done with a as low as 5 to 7 crore. For a, say something like a polypropylene, you can bring and melt spinning, you can double it and sell it. You can bring the dyed polypropylene unit. But right now, I don't have the figures since I have come across with such units. You can have melt spinning units of your choice, but the market and everything has to be done. You know, if these things are to be done, this has to be done with a due choice. But small synthetic yarn manufacturing unit can be done. But again, its cost competitiveness is lost. When you go for a yarn manufacturing of cotton, and then it is a very huge choice. When you have to go to ginning houses, you have to buy the cotton. By the time your cost of manufacturing a yarn is almost say 160 rupees addition to the basic cost of cotton, say about 90 rupees, clean cotton I'm talking about. So normal yarn of a 32 count also is roaring. It's a 32 count is a roaring yarn count from 5 tenths to as large as 200, as fine as 200 count yarn. These are very tricky and long-term project. One cannot have a simple. That's why there are cooperative spinning mills. Why they are going fail, because they don't work out on this things. Cost is very big. Investment cost is very high, and all those things have to be borne by the industry. Say like a cost of research and development, cost of reducing the waste. Reducing the waste. All things and compliance. These are big units basically. Small units do not function. Small weaving unit can work. Small weaving unit also are more than in a big type of unit.
thank you. So there's one more question from one of our audiences. Is contract manufacturing is possible in textile industry? And if yes, what will be the budget required? So Mr. Deshpande, sir, if you can throw some light on it.
It is possible. Which kind? Contract manufacturing, you can give order to a spinning mill and get your choice. As per agreement, you can get a yarn done. You can get a fabric done. There is a big process out there. There is a big man sitting in Delhi that is called as Berry, Mr. Berry. He is the largest buyer of a grey fabric, and he gets his grey fabric dyed with a Century and other good units where Berry got. You know it. That brand is very famous. Berry's cotton, that is Mr. Berry. So this kind of he gets all the fabric contract made, and he gets all the processing done on that fabric, and he sells it on his brand. But it requires a large retail network. If not retail network, at least wholesale market. And then contract manufacturing, you can get, like in Solapur, people are giving their own yarn, they get it woven from somebody else. They get grey towels and give it to somebody, some processor, get it processed. This can be done. If you are strong in merchandising and you are strong in your marketing product, you can definitely get things done by contract manufacturing. Everybody doesn't go to set the unit. It is everybody's appetite and where your acumen stands in the supply chain. अगर आप कुछ करना चाहते हैं तो आप बेचना चाहते हैं कोई चीज को तो आप कॉन्ट्रैक्ट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करवा सकते हैं. फिर वो धागा क्यों ना हो, फिर वो ग्रे फैब्रिक क्यों ना हो, फिर वो प्रोसेस फैब्रिक क्यों ना हो, टॉवेल क्यों ना हो, knitted क्यों ना हो. What these big buyers are doing, they are contract manufacturing only from us.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Sir, I have a question to Mr. Satapathy, sir. The question is the third-party manufacturing is possible in the sector or not? So, Mr. Ved has again raised the question. So, Mr. Satapathy, sir, if you
Third party manufacturing in the sense, third party has to be compliant. It is not that whatever third party, if you have given as per your choice and they will agree, the buyer has to conduct an audit in the third party. If it is compliant, then they can place the order.
If you are anywhere in the supply chain, all your links in the supply chain must be compliant.
Yes.
Right. Thank you, sir. So there's one more question by Mr. Ved. Andrew wants to know that which one to start in keeping the market size an account and which apparel manufacturer, if he has to. I think Mr. Satapathy sir would be.
See, you can mix product mix 200, 300 machine. If you minimum investment is 300 machines, if you can invest, you can cover almost all outerwears like knitteds and ovens. Oven shirt you can manufacture, oven formal pant, formal trousers, and cargo pants you can manufacture. Blazer you can jackets you can manufacture. Blazer you can manufacture, and you can manufacture polo t-shirt. You can manufacture round neck t-shirts. You can manufacture cargo bottoms, bermudas, track pants, all those things. All category 300 machines. If you divide each machine small category, you can cover all categories. So 300 machines required for this small project.
Okay. Thanks for that, sir. So there's one more question, like in contract manufacturing, if we have to start, what is the minimum budget that will be required? I think we've already responded. We can add on to it.
Yeah, but actually this is something you can hire labor, contract laborers. It is in garment industry. If you are not able to employ laborers on your role, you can hire a contractor who labor license contractor, labor license contractor who can bring manpower to your manufacturing unit. They can do certain activity and you will be paid to that. That is possible, and most of the cases, very small units, they are engaging contracting and for sewing and for ironing, packing, all those things. In Tirupur, you will find a lot of industries engaged in this particular area, doing contract business like small pressing units, trimming units, ironing units, washing units, and sewing units, cutting units. So they are taking small charge. You can do that. If you do not have facility also, manufacturing facility, if you do not have also, you can develop a brand, do manufacture through contracts and sell it online, and you can sell it also offline through different channels, marketing channels.
All right. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for reflecting so much about the textile industry. I would like to thank once again Mr. Satapathy sir and Mr. Deshpande sir for helping us enriching our knowledge into this. And,
स्लाइड दिखाना है क्या आप लोगों को?
नहीं, they saw sir, they saw. वो last में.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, SolutionBuggy. Thank you, Mr. Jena, and providing Shreya and the entire team for organizing such a wonderful program for all of us.
Entire SolutionBuggy team. I also express my thanks, and I'm very much benefited from Mr. Satyapathy, who helps from Bhubaneswar. मैं ये पूछ रहा था, वहाँ हमारी यूनिट ये भी आ गई ना, ICT, Institute of Chemical Technology. Do they have textile there?
No, ICT is not there.
ICT is in Bhubaneswar or Puri?
ICT, I think, I don't know, because ICT is in Hyderabad, not in Odisha.
Chemical Technology, Institute of Chemical Technology was one. Where I belong. It's my mother institute from Matunga, Mumbai. It has 2 branches opened after when they expanded from Matunga to one for Jalna in Marathwada, Aurangabad, and the other is at your Orissa. Bhubaneswar. Because they will be of a great help for checking the property.
Because I have no idea, sir. Whether ICT is available
Okay.
in India or not. I have no idea.
Good. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Take care.
Okay.
Goodbye, sir. Namaste.
Namaste. Thanks for all.
Thanks.
Okay. I thank you all the attendees for joining the session.
Okay.
It was great having
Thank
you. Thank you so much.